Am I live? I'm live. Hello and good morning, everyone from the Pacific Northwest. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nancy Rebecca. I'm a retired intensive care nurse, hospice nurse. However, for the last 30 years, I've been really working with the human energy field. And then since 2017, I have really been working a lot with the blue light and the blue light beings and all kinds of things. But today we're going to be talking about shocking the system, solar flares, and truth frequencies. But before I head in that direction, I just want to welcome everyone in our international community. And I'm so glad that you're here. As I was getting ready to go live, I saw someone say, "Yay, I made it to the live event." It is exciting when you can pop on live and really feel the frequencies of everybody engaging here in the chat. So hello from, is it Boynton Beach, Florida, and from Virginia Beach, and hello from Vancouver Island, Utah, Portland, Ecuador. I think this is the first time. Hello, Sandra, the UK. Someone saying hot and steamy in North Carolina. So as you can see, my room's a little rearranged. You'll probably see it rearranged a few times before I settle. But my brother, dear brother, came in and brought me some new tech equipment yesterday to play with. He helped me. I wouldn't have known how to do that. But it was so hot in this office yesterday that I got a big blaring, it's too hot, the equipment's too hot, everything's shutting down. So we don't have the humidity here, but we definitely have the heat here in Tacoma, Washington. Hello from New York City. I've been watching all the water happening around there. Hello from South Africa. And let's see, just a couple of more. Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Canadian Rockies, and I always say, and Squim. Like Squim is just this tiny little town up north here in Washington State, more from South Africa. So, all right. Hello, everyone. All right. So let me just tell you. So every week it's like I do the live, the information comes through. All right. Let me reverse that. No, let me go back. So I do the live, and then once the live's done and I click off all the lights and everything shuts down, and then I go on with my next project, but right away the spirit world just starts bringing in the information for the next week that's coming up. So that's how it happens. And then I get my little phone, and every time a little message comes throughout my day about the frequency forecast, shocking the system, solar flares, truth, just kind of put that in my phone. So then when I go to sit down and meditate, I kind of gather that data and put it into some type of format. So it is this ongoing cycle. Now, why do I want to tell you that? Because this week was different. This week is different. The frequency forecast is different. And you're going to understand when I start talking about it. But I was like, it feels kind of harsh, but harsh isn't the right word. It's like, when somebody means business, it's like everything's light and everything's fun or everything's not fun or everything's moving. But then suddenly you just know, all right, I'm being serious now. And it's like, okay, I've got my pen and paper. I'm paying attention. So that's today. So shocking the system, solar flares, and truth frequencies. Have you felt it? Like something deep within humanity is done playing nice. We've crossed a line. Passivity is out and clarity is in. With solar flares shocking the Earth's magnetic field, and then we've had that full moon in Capricorn calling structures and integrity. And then you've got Uranus now activating Gemini's mind matrix. The message is clear. The frequencies are shifting. They've turned a corner. We're going to get to experience some different things. The illusions are dissolving, the curtains are dropping, and those who were once asleep are starting to wake up faster than ever. And I always want to clarify wake up, because that word just gets thrown around like a dirty word. And what it means is I'm noticing things. Waking up just means, when you get up in the, well, okay, when I get up in the morning and, and I head straight to the kitchen to put the hot water on to make the coffee, I'm not going to notice anything that's, I'm going for the coffee. All right. So this is kind of life. It's like I'm taking the kids to school. I'm going to work. I'm having lunch with a friend. Like, you may not even notice what's going on around you. But when you start noticing and you start putting the pieces together, you start noticing the synchronicities. You start going, oh, wow, this is big. And you don't even have anything to back up your feeling about that. That's called being awake. You're just noticing things now. And so that's what's happening. People are starting to notice things faster than ever before. And so the blue light of truth is moving through the nervous system of humanity like a lightning bolt, and nobody's waiting around anymore for permission. It's time to rise. Hello from Bosnia. Okay. So let's get this, let's start heading in this way, because this frequency that's coming through, it's getting a lot of support through the astrology. It's getting a lot of attention from solar flares. There's a lot coming in that's right in alignment with this kind of new level of truth frequency that's coming through. And remember, the blue beings of light, when they were talking about the blue frequencies coming through, it's all about dissolving illusions, not just anybody else's illusions, but your illusions. It's enhancing truth, and it's bringing justice to the surface. So the old structures are done. Let's start there. So let's just start with the full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn governs structure, systems, and authority. And my moon is in Capricorn, and I have an affinity for Capricorn. But these structures, there's structures that are crumbling, but there are new structures that are really helping to uplift and enhance the foundations of how we are moving forward. So in this moon's light, we can see what's no longer working, and we're not asking about it nicely anymore. So that's what I mean by something made a shift this week. And humanity isn't just spiritually waking up, it's energetically declaring the nonsense is over. Can you feel it? Can you feel that? The minor game players who've made a mess of things, their power is crumbling. Now, I want to talk about this is all over the world. This is in every single person in your country. This is happening all over the world at the same time. And it's not through violence. It's through frequencies. The higher vibrations can no longer hold space, deception, distortion, or rot. Okay? So truth is creating a new level of gravity to support us. Now let's talk about those solar flares. So tough love from the cosmos. All right, so these solar flares are like divine defibrillators. Now, I was a cardiac intensive care nurse. So a cardiac defibrillator saves us, right? It's like if you were having a heart attack, your heart slowed down. It's like those defibrillators just kind of shock the system, our system's being shocked to reset the entire nervous system, to reset the heart, to get a nice steady rhythm. So if you've got atrial fibrillation or ventricular fibrillation, it's like the heart is chaotic. It's not functional in its ability to support you with that really strong heart pump. Well, it's kind of like that's going on right now with solar flares. We're being kind of reset. We're being shocked into truth. So what looked like anxiety or agitation is in truth a cosmic reset. Old mind loops zapped, unconscious behaviors no longer tolerable. Solar activity is sinking in with the sun's magnetic field, which is deeply tied to our electromagnetic brain and heart rhythms. These flare ups may feel intense, but they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, which is burning away the false and reigniting our inner compass. So, okay. Now, many in the metaphysical community view solar flares as cosmic catalysts for spiritual expansion and delivering high frequency light codes that activate the DNA, awaken intuition, and accelerate ascension. And that is exactly what solar flares do. So often we think about solar flare as being disruptive. I think of solar flares as being just that, reigniting, resetting our entire energetic system. Okay, so while the solar flares may trigger things like fatigue, how many of you have been feeling fatigued? Sleep disturbances, emotional waves, there's been a lot of those, and physical discomfort. These ascension symptoms are understood as the body's way of integrating new elevating energies and frequencies. Flare periods, this is my favorite part, that flare periods often heighten psychic perception, bring vivid dreams, and thin the veil between dimensions, offering powerful opportunities for soul growth and collective awakening. And to navigate these energies, spiritual teachers all around the world are now emphasizing grounding, grounding, and more grounding. I put a link into my grounding guided meditation in the link below, and I'm discounting the price for a short time. So absolutely, you will find that really helpful. And turning these volatile cosmic events into sacred moments of transformation. Now, the reason why I'm really excited about this enhanced psychic and intuitive ability is because when I had my out-of-body experience 30 years ago, I knew nothing. I mean, nothing. I don't know how many of you can remember 30 years ago, but in the circles that I traveled in, which was nursing, this kind of spiritual adaptation of how to see the world was non-existent. I remember once I was working with a patient in the room, getting their blood pressure, getting them settled, getting them their medication, and I heard the phone ring at the nurse's desk. I knew everybody was busy, so I had a moment. So I ran out and I picked up the phone and just started talking to whoever was there. And the nurses that were around stopped and looked at me and said, "Why did you pick up that phone? How did you know to pick up the phone?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "It never rang." And so that was really my first kind of foray into starting to have my abilities really awaken. It scared me. It scared them. Now, 30 years later, if that happened, we might kind of think it's semi-normal. Okay. So let's see. To navigate these energies, we want to emphasize, I said, grounding, hydration, rest, and meditation so that you can turn these volatile cosmic events of solar flares into sacred moments of transformation. And Charlotte's saying people around me are seeming to carry on as if everything is normal. And you're right. It's there's this sense about, has that ever happened to you though, Charlotte, where your system has been shocked, right? It's been shocked. And maybe you just heard something that you can't unhear. Maybe somebody just shared something with you that, like this couple that you've known that have just been the the best example of the best married couple, and then suddenly you heard that maybe that wasn't the truth, and maybe there were some things happening, and you're just like walking around like in a daze. That's why when people are walking around like it's normal, and I'm sure you're going, what the heck, like, are you going to respond to something? But this kind of shocking, I'm calling shocking our system, it's really shocking our system. And so it's going to take a while for us to adapt. And so rather than saying, what's wrong with you? It's like, there's a lot going on. Would you like to have a cup of coffee? It's like, not to say ignore what's happening, but some of you can see it as clear as day and others can't. But that's changing. So Uranus in Gemini, a new neural network. I am so excited about Uranus in Gemini. So Uranus is the planet of revolution, and I'm an Aquarian sun sign, so of course I love Uranus. So a planet of revolution, Gemini rules the mind. Now together, these partners, they're rewiring us all super fast. And the thoughts that once took years to shift are realigning overnight. So I do know that there's many of you here, you're riding that wave that I'm riding right now. But I also want to say, just like Charlotte was saying, there are people walking around like, I don't get it. Like, what's happening here? We are outnumbered. We are outnumbered by unconsciousness, but what's happening is everyone's changing. Intuitive levels are coming up. Psychic abilities are coming up. And the biggest question I get asked is this normal? Am what I'm experiencing right now normal? And it is normal that a lot of you are experiencing the same thing, but you're not at a place yet where you feel like you can tell your friend, I'm having these, like I'm hearing thoughts, or I just saw a spirit. Like, we're still not totally at that place where we feel like we can say it out loud. So, so thoughts that once took years to shift are now realigning overnight. Those who have stood in corruption, they're now being offered a chance to cross over into the light. And that, I'm not saying that quite right. It's not like they're going to come from the dark into light. But in this opportunity, I'm not giving the opportunity. The divine's not giving the opportunity. Your inner soul, your inner light is saying, I think I'd like to make some different choices. And they can be quite small choices. And all of you, let's just talk about habits. Like, I need to start walking more. And how many of you have thought about that for months, but how many of you have actually started walking more? So that's that way of kind of stepping into one frequency into another frequency that allows that action orientation to get your tennis shoes on and walk out the door, in the morning. So this is a rare cosmic mercy because the frequencies can no longer lie. We don't need long explanations or debates, do we? Just move towards the right and away from the wrong. Your body knows. Okay, hear that? Let's just move away. Let's move towards what's right. This is just right. And this is just wrong. And so that, if we want to think about, if I just want to put all my notes into a nutshell of what's happening with the shocks to the system, it's like suddenly you feel compelled to do the right thing. You feel compelled to stand up in the right way, even for yourself. All right. So your spirit knows, let your nervous system be your compass. Let your inner intuition be your compass. The rise of the ancient ones. So there's this ancient roar that's rising up. Can you feel it? All right, let's just think about 2 weeks ago. See if you can feel into where you were 2 weeks ago, where you are now. Now, for me personally, it does feel like it's coming up underneath the earth. It feels like it's rising up through me. And for me, I can feel it, and it's like kind of caught in my diaphragm. But there's this rising that we can't deny is happening for all of us. And so it's not angry and destructive. However, it is fierce for truth. This isn't rage, it's resonance. And the ancient ones walk with us again, the elders of the earth, the guides from the stars, and your own soul that has existed across all time and all space. And here it is. We are all done at that soul level of done watching humanity and us in certain aspects of our life, dimming ourselves for the comfort of those who never intended for peace. I love it, the way Spirit talks, because Spirit isn't just about pointing the finger. Spirit's about, if you don't have an intention for peace for the world and for humanity, I don't have time for you. Okay? And that's everybody in the world. So this week, you just might feel the presence of that desire for peace is rising through dreams, sudden insights, emotional clarity, but these just aren't whispering in the background anymore. Now, rotten to the core, I have never heard the spirit world use that term, and it came up loud and clear in my meditation. Rotten to the core. This means that the inner rot, the outer rot, is dissolving all illusions. The blue beings are showing us what's rotten, not with any judgment. They're very benevolent, they're very neutral, but they've got this accuracy of precision. And the blue light is clearing and dissolving all rot in all systems, minds, and even in our bodies, allowing us to rise in healthier ways. And so how might this feel to you? You may feel some old, pain or old wounds coming to the surface. They're coming to the surface to be rooted out. And so lies revealing themselves, certain people no longer feeling in resonance with what they used to feel in resonance with. Just yesterday, I felt there was something that shifted for me. And it was like I couldn't go back and look at the situation the same way. It was not possible. And so this is truth rising. It's not loud. It's a steady, strong, impossible to ignore frequency. And this is the thing, in the spirit world was saying, like, we're not rising up. It's not like put them up. It isn't like, this fighting and there is violence and there is war and there's all this coming on. But there's this, what was being described to me was this rising frequency of like, no more. And the frequency is rising up to challenge the other disruptive frequencies of corruption, of violence, of war. It's rising up. It's all, have you ever, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about, it's like when my ex-husband would walk into the room when we were still married, and the kids would be horsing around and not settling down. And then he would just walk in the room and they would just like sit at attention. It's like, oh, he means business. It's that kind of energy where, all right, this is all fun and games, but now I mean business. So here's the miracle. Even those who've walked long in the darkness, so we'll just say, all right, I'll just leave it at that. They're being given a path to cross into the light. So I'm not a big fan of light and dark, of talking about it that way, because I do see everything having levels of beauty because we learn lessons. I do get that. But it's almost like if you're swirling in that circle of chaos and disruption and crime and harm against humanity and blah, blah, all the way around like that. And you just are like, you're just going in circles like a dog chasing its tail. And you're going so fast in this really disruptive, harmful cycle. It's almost like you look up and you say, oh, wait a minute, what's over in that room? Because we are seeing some serious crimes against humanity that perpetually fester in the dark. And when the light comes in, it can't fester anymore. So, okay, I'm going to get into a nursey thing. So there's a bacteria. So if you get an infection, there's two, I'll just settle it down into two. It's called aerobic and anaerobic. Okay, so aerobic means with oxygen. So there's bacteria that can survive in air. And then there are bacteria that are called anaerobic. So it means without air. So there's antibiotic bacteria that can grow and thrive like underneath. Like if you cut your finger, but then deep down inside, it's an infection. So the first thing that your medical person's going to want to do is they're going to want to, the bacteria that's anaerobic, that thrives without air, they want to open it up to get air because the bacteria will die faster or it'll slough away faster. So this is kind of what we're talking about. There are those who exist in the world who thrive without light. All right. They grow, they thrive, things perpetuate without light. What's happening now, it's like we're opening up that doorway and the light's coming in. And so those things, and I don't need to name them in a list, you all know what they are. They're no longer can thrive and perpetuate and grow in the dark when we're adding so much light in. And then what happens is then those can go, oh, I think I'll try it over there. This is a big choice point, is what I'm trying to say. So here's the miracle. Those who have been in the darkness move into the light. This includes family, includes political figures, includes people in power, even inner aspects of yourself that have been hiding in the dark for a long time are coming to the surface. This is not a punishment. It's a realignment. There's still time, but not to delay, to act. And this is what's, especially in the next 4 weeks, really, really fast moving. And then over the next few months, next few years. This isn't about pondering, right? It's about resonance. What feels true? If it feels true, it is. If it smells off, it is. And get faster at recognizing it. I felt like when I was meditating with the spirit guides, I felt like they were cracking that whip. So, and if it feels rotten, just walk away and bless it. You're not here to fix it. You're here to create what's coming up next. You're here to focus on where your next step's going to be. And your nervous system, you heard me, I made that video, that talk about glitching. You're not glitching, you're upgrading. Your nervous system is upgrading. You might feel wired, tired, emotional, and even extra intuitive, which is my favorite topic because that's what I teach. That's not you breaking, it's you being rewired. The brain is forming new connections, and your nervous system is learning to speak in frequencies, not in fear. And if you felt different this week, good, because it means it's working. Okay, so may your compass be true, may your clarity be sharp, may your voice, even when silent, resonates with truth. And may you walk in the light of knowing who you are, and may those still crossing over feel your presence and say, I want to walk that way too, because it's going to happen. It is happening. And so let's do a guided meditation. Let's get ourselves really standing in the blue flame of righteous calm is what I'm calling this guided meditation. So whatever is relaxing to you, whether you're sitting outside in the grass, resting up against a tree, whether you're still laying in bed or sitting up in your comfy chair with a cup of coffee or tea, just start to close your eyes. It's like, let your whole body, let the deep rest, because I know that many of you are feeling exhausted. Allow the frequency, the restful frequency, to start to settle into your body with your breath as it dissolves exhaustion. Inhale through your nose, breathing in fresh calmness, fresh peace, fresh comfort and rest, and exhale out any stress or tension. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more anchored in your body. So as you take in a breath, imagine that breath passes beyond your lungs. That breath brings that freshness throughout your whole body. Your breath flows all the way, expands past the body, down past your feet. Your breath grounds you and connects you with the expansive gravity, pulling you towards and anchoring you towards the magnetic core. Breathe into your grounding, breathe into your roots, breathe into your clarity. Your body is calling you to adjust. Relax your shoulders, straighten your spine, relax your legs. Drain any tension and feel into your inner quiet authority. You are arriving not to be or attempt to convince yourself that you're powerful. You are remembering your strengths, your inner authorities, your inner power. Now imagine through feeling and hearing, maybe seeing colors or just simply knowing that there's a soft blue light that's beginning to glow within you and all around you in the room that you are in. It sparkles, it pulses. This is a light, a soft blue light that does not need to shout. It doesn't need to shake its fist. It's pure truth frequency, steady, sovereign, and calm. Conscious means to be aware. Bring your conscious awareness and set your intention that that soft, calming blue light of truth is flowing into your crown chakra, your spiritual chakra where your higher self resides, and let it just move around your crown chakra, gently activating your spiritual center with truth and precision of clarity. Allow it to swirl around and move into your sixth chakra, which is located in your head where your brain is, through your forehead, your third eye, the back of your head. Let this pure, soft blue light of truth and clarity just flow through your sixth chakra, activating you in a way to align with the truth frequencies abundant on our planet right now. Allow the swirling around the throat, outside your throat area, inside your throat area, down to your chest area, your heart chakra, swirling around the outside and the inside, just like you're just moving in circles. Remember as a child, like to outstretch your arms and just spin and spin. Let this frequency of light just swirl around with gentle exhilaration. Sense into your heart this kind of igniting, shocking the system, igniting the light of truth in your own heart. You start to feel and experience the quiet inner fire, inner blue fire of awakening. This is not a fire of rage. It is a fire of righteous clarity. It is a knowing that says, I will not negotiate the truth of my soul. Breathe into that flame and let it rise. It doesn't burn, it remembers. Now bring your attention to your solar plexus, which is that area just below the diaphragm. This is your center of action, of will, of discernment. Let the blue fire swirl here, the blue flame merging with a golden strength. Again, you may feel your posture start to shift again. Remember, you're going through an activation. Allow your posture, if need, to go ahead and shift again, very subtle shifts as your inner leader awakens. Not the leader who's controlling, but the leader who walks first. Your inner leader, the one who holds the line, not with aggression, but with the boldness of presence. Now here, let your awareness drop into the area just below your navel, down into your pelvis as well, where your root chakra and sacral chakra are located. Allow your body to feel synchronized with the earth. Synchronize your heartbeat with the earth's magnetic rhythm, a pulse, a breath, because you're not separate from this living frequency of the planet. You are a stabilizer of what is right. You are a stabilizer of what is good. You are a stabilizer of truth. Now bring your awareness back to your heart. That blue flame, that blue spark, ignited, burning strong, and within it a presence arises like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. It is you as you fully remember yourself. It is the ancient you, it is the future you, it is the now you. Now repeat silently or out loud, if you wish, I remember who I am. I do not negotiate with distortions. I walk in calm power. I carry truth as my frequency. My presence can transform the room that I walk into. My silence dissolves all lies. My inner compass is steady, and I act in alignment with what is right. Now take a few breaths in this space and notice how your nervous system is responding as you make those statements, not from pressure, but from permission. This is a calm, this is stillness, but it is not inaction. It is power in alignment with truth. Now let's just take another moment to visualize yourself standing somewhere that feels very sacred to you. It might be a mountaintop, it might be a temple or a shoreline. You are clothed in the blue robe of light. Behind you are the ancient ones. Around you are the new earth frequencies of balance, harmony, and truth. And before you is the path of no return with great clarity and illumination to light your way. You are ready. And now go ahead and bring yourself back to consciousness, to the space that you are in. Start to move around your fingers and toes of those beautiful bodies of yours. Take a final deep breath. And just feel really anchored, bold, clear. Feel home within yourself. Okay. I know that was a bit of a longer meditation today, and just know that this exact meditation is put to music and is released on Tuesday. So next Tuesday, the same meditation will be available to you with music. So I know that you all have lots of questions. I like to read your comments as well, and sometimes it helps create new information for new upcoming videos. So I always appreciate. And I want to also mention the way you all are as a community. I always say we're stronger together than we ever were apart. But when you watch the videos that I make, the teachings that I make, I want to encourage you to take the additional time to read the comments. They are brilliant. They are uplifting. They are exciting. And sometimes they're filled with angst where they don't totally understand. And then to see that our communities come together to support them and offer suggestions. There's just nothing like it. So please feel free to add your comments, but also take the time to read others' comments and like them because, yeah, it's just wonderful. And the support for me, yeah, it's just undeniable. And so I appreciate that. We are stronger together than we are apart. The world is shaken up in a good way. And I'm glad that you're all here with me. All right, everyone. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you live next Thursday.